Right. Darren's notes. Welcome, everybody. Double Take Sports Talk. I'm Darren. That's Daryl.
You bet.
All right, so we're gonna actually do this together. This is one of the rare things that happens. If
Yeah,
you've
no
seen on
kidding.
previous Darren's notes and Daryl's reactions, there's been particularly by ourselves, but this time is gonna actually be the both of us. We can sit down and we kind of talk about these things a little bit, kind of, possibly dig deep if we need to, whatever. We just have these conversations to have them. So today, I always have said on There's Notes, in case you don't watch it or just need a refresher course, I've always have said that uh, sports players have to live life outside the football field, outside the basketball court, outside the particular fields that they play in, soccer, um, uh, ice, all of that. Everybody
Yes.
has the tennis courts. They have to live their lives outside as well. So I always tell people that just because they're athletes do not mean that they don't get a say. Because we always hear somebody like Laura Ingraham saying, shut up and dribble, or sports figures doesn't matter because they play sports. But at the end of the day, they matter just as much as anybody that has to live in this life. Because if that was the case, then politicians should not be allowed to share their thoughts on sports.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So, kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about, well, not talk a little bit more, but just briefly talk about the Art Rooney Rule, where every coach is supposed to be interviewed, regardless if they're going to get them or not. I wanted to talk about particularly Eric Bieniemy being his potential as a head coach, because this is
Yeah.
also for me part of uh, racism in a way in the NFL that most people don't recognize. You have to recognize it sometimes.
Yeah.
I hear one of the more important things that I hear a lot about Daryl, because I know you don't necessarily agree with this. Uh, a lot of people keep talking about Jim Caldwell should be a head coach based on his 2009 Colts and then the Baltimore Ravens as being the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. At the time, I believe he won that year. I think he won that
I
year. I'm not
think
sure.
I don't remember.
I don't remember if he won that year or not. But I think the most important thing for me when finding these things and talking about these things is it's player relations based on living life and then the racism side of it as well. And Eric Bieniemy is one of them, just simply because he should have a head coaching role by now. And by him not having a head coaching role says a lot about, what the NFL is up to right now, based on the whole Art Rooney Rule, where everybody's supposed to be interviewed and supposed to be, fair down the line, especially after what happened with Brian Flores, that most people don't get, mainly blacks don't get the proper chances than their white counterparts in the NFL.
Right.
Being uh, there's been quite a few coaches that I've seen coach that shouldn't be coaching, after given chance after chance after chance after chance. And Eric
Yeah.
Bieniemy being Bieniemy being one of those guys that don't have a head coaching job after championship win after championship win, even though that is being said that Eric Bieniemy don't necessarily have the control that he had in Kansas City, that he's supposed to have the full control over the Washington Commanders to be able to, call the plays on offense. So it makes you think, is it a good opportunity for Eric Bieniemy to be an offensive coordinator, be able to show that he's actually a potential head coach? For me,
Right.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
For me, yes. There's no debate hands down for me on that, because I believe that he should already be a head coach by now. I have no idea why he ain't, but he should have been a head coach by now, just simply because I believe he has skill set to run an offense. I really do. Eric Bieniemy calls him out. Andy Reid makes a decision if he's going to do it or not. I know he has faults based on if he agreed with him or not. But for me, him not having that control and Eric Bieniemy being able to do this full play call says, yes, I believe he has that potential. What do you think?
Firstly, let me clear this away. Yes, he did win the Super Bowl that year with the Baltimore Ravens as quarterbacks coach. And I also has to kind of switch to the fact that Jim Caldwell can be a coach because of what he put together with the Detroit Lions as a head coach.
Right. Yes.
And he,
yeah.
put them into the playoffs. He put Matt Stafford in a good position,
Yeah.
even though they didn't get the job done all the way. That just changed my perspective that yes, he actually deserve, as one of the other African Americans to be a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And as for Eric Bieniemy, I truly believe that based off him and his experience in the NFL as an offensive coordinator, I think it's important that not only that he is and deserves a head coaching job, but that needs to be considered.
Yeah.
It needs to be considered because of what Lovie Smith did with the Bears,
right?
With Tony Dungy did with the Colts,
right?
And
even Tampa Bay.
And even Tampa Bay. He did establish them a championship team. John Gruden just went in there and finished it up. But Tony Dungy needs that credit too. But then, I don't want to get off subject, but Mark Jackson deserves credit for what he did with Golden State.
That's not our topic. I'm telling you, that is not our topic.
Well, we're talking about football and Eric Bieniemy. I went on to Mark Jackson. No, I get what you're saying.
Absolutely.
But Mark Jackson he was incredible.
Yes.
When the Golden State, he actually was the one that helped build Steph Curry.
He was actually the one that not only did that, but the majority had the help me out, the draft picks.
Yes.
Obtaining most of the players that went on to win a championship and to be able to keep those players.
Yeah. No doubt. And to me, when you look at those, you look at Eric Bieniemy too. He's no different.
Right.
The only difference is that the NFL has not considered it. None of the owners has not considered it. Nobody has not considered him as a head coach. And that actually needs to happen.
Right.
It needs to happen. We're sitting here and we're looking at all of these white coaches getting opportunity after opportunity, especially if they actually have not done nothing in their resume to prove that they're head coaches. And one of the other additions that I just thought about, Mike McDaniel. Yeah, now, he got the opportunity. Mm-hmm. He got an opportunity over Eric Bieniemy. He's been in the NFL probably longer before he was born.
Josh McDaniels being one of them too, because Josh McDaniels, to me, don't show head coaching potential.
No.
But Eric Bieniemy definitely got an opportunity that he should have been and gotten over Josh McDaniels.
Mm-hmm. That don't take nothing away from, the Jimmy Johnsons and the Don Shulers and all of them. But let's be equal here. Let's be equal to the fact that some of these black people are just as phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're just as phenomenal as coaching as the other, coaches.
Right.
They're just as good. Eric Bieniemy is good.
Right.
Jim Caldwell's good. Dungy was good.
Right.
Lovie Smith is good. He shouldn't have got booted like that, but that should have been built up a little bit of patience.
Right.
And it's, to me, that is the I think that would actually help the NFL, in my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. That could help the NFL based off of how they are looking at the Art Rooney Rule. Eric Bieniemy. Yeah, but he's the one of it all.
But then you got to remember some of these people that want to talk about the NFL and some of the things they're doing to help combat racism.
They just gonna have to get past that.
I would agree. I'm not disagreeing with that, but a lot of them are just like, oh, forget the NFL. They're garbage because they did this, doing this with racism, doing that with racism. And the fact is, the NBA done the same thing, and everybody's like wanting to boycott. And I'm just like, you have got to be kidding me right now,
bro.
I mean, I'm like, there. Between that, and I don't mean to get off topic, but between that and Bud Light is really ticking me off.
Yeah, Target too.
It ticks me off that people are boycotting Bud Light. Maybe it's a good opportunity for you to do that simply because you don't really need to be drinking anyway. You probably just don't need to be drinking, but then you're probably going to go off and find something else that you think might be beneficial when you fail to realize that Bud Light do have some parent companies as well that supports that. So good luck finding your ones.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Stop digging in your ego because of the fact that what Bud Light is doing, and who that brother's name? Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Don't get mad at them.
Right.
Because they want to support the pride community.
Right.
Don't get mad.
Right.
You know, and
right.
And I hate when they sit there and they talk about how they are that Bud Light and Garth Brooks had faced the wrong side of the earth as failures when it comes down to this. I'm like, it ain't no failure.
No.
It just ain't kicked off yet.
Right.
It just ain't kicked off yet.
That's absolutely correct.
So once that actually makes a change, things are going to be different. So relax. It'll come back. Y'all be mad again. Y'all going to be bunched up in your drawers. So it's going to happen. So get past it.
Yeah, get past that. Because this is no, I mean, I just hate when people use social injustice, racial injustice, and different things like that to boycott things that that should be bringing everybody together, but it's not necessarily bringing everybody together. It's really just causing more of a division because people fail to open up their minds and understand and recognize different things that most people go through isn't what everybody else go through at the end of the day. See, for me and you and a lot of other people, we don't experience what the transgender community experience, but at the end of the day, just by sitting down and listening to them, you might just learn something. So at the end of the day, listening helps everything. So if you're going to be ignorant about it, then you're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. You're part of the bigger problem of not understanding some of these issues to be able to come together as one. And the NFL has their own problems with the owners of the NFL simply because there's not enough black head coaches. Period. There's not enough black head coaches to be able to do the things that we're supposed to do to help with social injustice and racial injustice and things like that. This ain't helping.
And holding off Colin Kaepernick too. That don't help nothing.
That too.
That don't help nothing.
And it all started with a white supremacist by the name of Donald Trump. It all started there.
It all started with him.
For that. Let's clear that up. For that, not for eternity or past history, but for this Colin Kaepernick. That's where it started. It started with that clown.
Yes.
It started with him.
Yes.
It started with him.
And so with Trump on board now, it's kind of like it's showing everybody else's true colors that are actually racist. Especially boycotting the game and, feeling like that racism don't have, a place in sports and stuff like that. That's what it's doing when it does. And, Trump holds responsible for 80% of that.
Right. And it disgusts me, but that could be another talk for another time as well. But that's all I have. You got anything else you want to add?
Not on their behalf. No, I think I've pretty much expressed what I meant. Yeah.
Very good. Then that's all. That's all I have for Darren's notes. Thanks for listening. Catch our podcast, Double Take Sports Talk. We should have an episode coming out every Thursday, I believe. Every Thursday. Is that right?
Well, it's actually every Wednesday.
every Wednesday. Excuse me, every Wednesday. That's gonna show how long we've done this. But thank you so much for watching. Catch our episodes every Wednesday and catch our little side segments of Darren's notes and Daryl's reactions as well. On the Double Take Sports Talk YouTube channel. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram as well at DTST 2414. Thanks for watching. I'm Darren, and that's Daryl.
You bet.